Hi, good evening. Yeah, today is the Tuesday when we're going to be discussing parenting boys. And yeah, I've talked to a few people here and there, and a lot of discoveries. No, not discoveries per se. After talking to them, I realize these are things we see every day, but we never take note of. Yeah, so welcome, Zippy Okoth, karibu sana. Yeah, today we want to discuss about you, about men, about boys, and about our role as parents in bringing up these boys in the world today. A lot has changed in the world. Like the time our parents were brought up, the time we were brought up, and the kids we're bringing up right now, is a lot that has changed, and it is important for us as parents to keep up to that. Yeah, karibuni sana. Today we are going to be discussing boys, and this is Dr. Zippy. Yeah, I am a lot of things, but above all, right now, I am a parent. As somebody asked me the other day, like, Zippy, all these things you're saying, can you show us your children? Are you a parent? I said, yeah, I'm a parent. I'm a parent of 3 children and 2 surviving girls. Yeah, and so I am a parent. And being a firstborn, I have been a parent to many people. Being a firstborn comes with a lot of things. Anyways, we wait for the people to join us. It reminds me of a story. Where my daughter goes to school, we have a WhatsApp group for the parents in that class. So one of these days, one of the parents wrote in the WhatsApp group that their son went back home and had a small bruise on the arms. And so the teacher is in that group. So the teacher said, "Oh, sorry, we handled it. It was not a serious case. It was just a case of boys being boys." I still wonder what boys being boys is, but the parent just kept quiet immediately. These are about kids who are like 6 years, 7 years, and 8 years. And so when the teacher said boys being boys, and the teacher being a boy, tells a lot. Yeah. So yes, so we'll just start. Tieno Komo, karibu. Dorothy Demba, karibu. Glad Kalota, karibu. Wiki Otieno, John Idids, karibu. Shikundumu, karibu sana. Yes, good evening, Wiki. Caroline Wairimu, Frederick ZB, karibu sana. Betty, karibu. You have a 17-year-old and a 5-year-old son. Uko na kazi. But also you enjoy so much love having 3 men in your life, or these 2. So Anjiski Brown, karibu sana. Betty Adira, mother of boys, karibu sana. Lily Otieno Mushio, Immaculate Mutali, Belinda Otani, Bernard Gitonga, and Faith Mukami, karibu sana. Naona mothers of boys are here and fathers of boys are also here. So I'll start with the most basic. The most important thing generally for any child is self-awareness. So if you are parenting a boy, one aspect of self-awareness that you need to look at is you need to make them understand that they are boys. Because if you don't make your sons understand that they are boys, then they'll grow up not knowing who they really are. Remember our topic on self-identity. So as a parent, you also need to start making these children know who they are from a young age. Let them know they are boys. Let them know what the society expects of boys. And let them know what you as a mother or a father expects of them as boys. And that is what self-awareness is about. Telling them about themselves, about what men have been, about what boys have been, so that even when they watch movies, they know, that's a man, that's a boy. Yes, sometimes people say, you should not motivate your children to watch some movies or because it's promoting maybe violence or so. But then we are going to discuss how violence sometimes is not violence per se to boys. Perhaps to them it's an issue of power. So, yes. Let us discuss self-awareness. Bring these boys to believe that they are men. And men in the African society, because that's the context I want to talk about. In the African society, men are people who are protectors. They protect their women. They protect the society. They protect the children. Men are providers. They provide. It doesn't matter what is happening in the world. Whether the world is going at war, they have to ensure that their family has food. And that is what a man is about in Africa. And I mean, it doesn't matter, even in the world today, a man is about provision, a man is about protecting the family and all that. And you need to bring them up to that act, so that There are these instances. A friend told me, like, even when they are traveling, they have got this boy. He's less than 10 years old, but when he's traveling, he has to tell them, "I've left the family in your hand." So the boy grows up knowing that he's the man. When daddy is not there, he is the one to take care of mommy and the sisters. And so it's not about age. It's all about just putting it in their mind that this is what a man is about in our society, in our culture, and even you as a parent would expect of them. Then another point is authority. Men need command. Men need command and order. Be straight to the point to the men. Last time we talked about girls. Girls want to be encouraged like gentlemen. With the boys, say it straight to the point so that they get it. If you go around it, they will miss the point. And that is just how they are. The way we go around the supermarket saying, I don't know which one I want. A man enters the supermarket and knows what he wants. Yes, that thing starts from as early as when they are young. So start bringing them up to be very straightforward with their talks, and that one starts with you as a parent being straightforward with them. When you command them, when you order them, when you tell them things straightforward, then that one is okay. Even when you negotiate in such a way that they know you are the one in command. That way they know that as they grow up, a man has to be in command. And even as a mother, when you are bringing them up, yes, as women, we'd like to go this and that and negotiate forever. But when you're bringing up a boy, you need to make a decision and they know that's the decision. Because when you give a man too many options, they get confused. And this is the way that you need to be able to do what? To motivate them even when they are children. When you are asking the boys what to eat, you don't ask them, will you want rice or ugali or this? You'll get them confused. They'll feel like, okay, I'll start by eating rice, then I'll finish with ugali. But you see, girls would say, let me think. I think I'll just have the rice. Oh, mama, should I have the ugali? Girls will go around things. But boys, just decide for them. What do you think is best? And if it is an issue of negotiating, sit down and negotiate with them. Listen and give them straightforward advice. If they are already their teenage moment and they're asking you, should they go maybe to so-and-so's house for a visit or so-and-so's house, discuss the options and then just tell them, from what you've told me, I think so-and-so might give you peer pressure, and so-and-so is a good boy because at least with him you discuss homework. Even if you're watching games or you're watching movies, you're watching good movies. So be very straightforward. Don't just tell them, oh, whichever you want. Those are things we talk with girls. But boys, after they have given you the choices they have, be very straightforward with the decisions that you help them make. Yeah. And then motivation. Inspire the boys. Inspire the boys. Boys need to be motivated at a very young age so as to build their self-esteem, because the society is very harsh on men right now. Society does not give chance to men. Women are given more prominence and women are given more chances. Women are given more voice because we are trying to empower the girl child. So we need to take time to motivate our young men, our boys, to be able to grow up, to be able to make better choices in life. Like, to connect them to mentors. And when we're talking about connecting them to mentors, we are not talking about internship. No. We are talking about, if your child has told you, even at the age of 6, that they want to be engineers, take them to visit an engineer. They see the way an engineer lives. They see the way an engineer does what? Eats, dresses, walks. The car an engineer drives. Tell them, this is my friend and he's an engineer. So you want to be an engineer? Here is one. It will motivate them. If they want to be a doctor, take them to a clinic. Let them spend even half a day with that doctor and see how that doctor is talking to people. Just being there, just being sent, bring this is called as patula, and hearing how this person is talking to the others. If they want to be, what other job do boys want to be? If they want to be actors, we also have great actors. Then take them to somebody who's acting, whether it's for TV or film, and let them spend a day with these people, because men are more hands-on. So when you take them to spend days with these people, they are able to make those decisions. And then help them also by taking them to places that they can experience. With girls, you can tell them, imagine if you are a doctor, girls do this. But boys, they want to experience that. So take them to these people who can help them experience that. People who can be able to help them to be able to feel their dream. It's like when you want a boy to work very, very hard, and you want to tell them, work very hard so that you can work in the city and be a big man in the city. The easiest way to convince a boy to do that is when you can take them to Nairobi, just for a visit, even if it is just for a day. Bring them to the city, come out if you're not living in Nairobi, even or to a place like Kisumu City or Nakuru City or Mombasa City. Take them there, even just for a tour, just to see the buildings, just to visit an office of an old friend of yours. And you know, that can really inspire this young man to be able to dream more, because at least they have actualized this. They can see it. You see, girls, we can imagine, we can watch movies and feel like they're at the top of the world, but boys have to see it. So take this time to connect them to people who can really mentor them. Before I go to my next point, let me say hi to a few people. Yeah, Betty Karibu, Lilian Tieno, Musho, Immaculate, Mutali, Belinda, Otani, Bernard Gitonga, Faith Mukami, Bruce Oyumo, Oyamo, you're ready. Yes, follow Kinley, Veronica Mora, Karibu Sana, huyo ni mama ya kijana. Kishon Viola, Karibu Johnson, Oyugi, Kevin Owino, Suki Wanza, Sarah Anguk, Alpha Lorenzo and Flower Weeds Wanyonyi, karibu ni sana. Hello, tuned in from Roysambu. Karibu sana. Jared Mboya, Rasefa, Lois Ochieng, Christine Mbuya, karibu sana. Dole. Taking note, self-awareness, very important. Wiki Tieno. Jacinta, Miriam, William, Mukaria, karibu sana. Catherine Wams, awesome topic. Is it right to tell a boy not to cry when hurt? How should boys deal with emotions? I am getting into that. Emily Onyango, Chogizi made by Christ. Antonio Yogi, karibu. Glad to hear Baba Boys. Karibu sana. Austin, karibu. Ogolanya Sembo, karibu sana. Austin Blacks mwalimu, yes, kijana sema. Neto Reso, Mamofil. This Minadel, karibu sana. Oh, Mama Phil, let your son has been telling you he wants to be a policeman and you don't like it. Let your son dream, Mama Phil. What is wrong with being a policeman? The fact that you've interacted with policemen who are not so good does not mean they are all bad. So look for a policeman who is good and connect your child to that policeman so that they can be mentored. Feremawa, Nelvin Ogola, Marie Curtis, Maino Jasma, Duncan Wangi Karibu, Michael Mangi Karibu. Yes, Madam Umefika. Then he keeps telling he wants to be a doctor. Connect him to a doctor. Sasa sijui ni doctor kama mimi ama ni doctor wa hospitali. Sisi kama mabocha tunateseka, mnateseka sana, tunaelewa mnateseka. Estambata karibu. Mike from Dar es Salaam karibu sana. What about the boys born in the Western world of society in comparison to African culture? Is it possible to influence them as per African culture is concerned? That is your role as a parent. If you experience the African culture and your child is being brought up in the Western culture, it's your role to be able to pass on this to them. Tell them these stories. You know, a lot of these cultures, there's really not much big difference. It's all about passing on that which you know about your culture to your child. Telling them, because according to every society, a man is looked at differently. You know, in the Western, if you go to Europe, people are sharing bills. In Africa, there's nothing like sharing bills. A man needs to take care of the woman, full stop. And when you go abroad, people are supposed to share bills, full stop. So when you want to mix these two, then you need to bring up your child to be able to do what? To marry and to engage with an empowered woman who will understand that. So as much as the man will always provide, at least it will be able to complement sharing in this today's world. Yeah, so karibuni sana. Sasa tutaendelea kidogo tena. Yes, this must just is it right to tell a boy not to cry when hurt? Boys need to let boys be boys. If they want to cry, give them room to cry. The thing is that men cry, and we know they cry, but they don't want to cry in front of people because it's an issue of ego, and that is my next point. Ego. When our men have ego, what do we do? As a mother, what do you do to your son to help him develop a positive ego? Because ego can either be positive or can be negative. It is a very good thing to have ego because ego is about pride. I mean, when we put it as ego, it sounds bad, but ego is about having pride. So how do you help your boy to have good pride? One, allow him to have those emotions. They are human, so they get hurt. So when the same way they can get angry, the same way they can get sad, and the same way they can get moody. Though the level of moodiness in boys and girls is totally different. So girls get very moody openly, but boys can just decide to shut up, and then they will go to their room and shed a tear or two, but they'll never want you to see their tears. Reason being, the society has made us believe that boys should not cry. And that's why you realize during circumcision they're told, oh, if you cry, I don't know what happened, but I'm told they're threatened that if you cry, bad things will happen to you and your generations and stuff. So the society has made them believe that. So they cry in silence. So as a mother, you need to help them to learn to be able to share their emotions. As much as they might not want to cry in front of you, if you realize that the boy is crying, don't start staring at them and start telling them, oh, you're crying and you're a man. Give them room. Tell them, I'm ready to talk to you anytime you're ready to talk. For now, I'll let you have your time. Okay, daddy? Or if you want to call him boy, or you want to call him junior, or you want to call him his real name, whether it is Mwangi or Otieno. So whichever way, give them room to be able to express those emotions at their own comfort. And one thing about ego when it comes to men, praise the young men on what they do. You see, girls, we want to be praised on how we look, on how we talk, on how we dress, and then is when on what we do comes next. But for boys, what they do and how they do it comes first. How they look last. So these are like things that you really have to learn to balance as a what? As a parent. If you're a parent of girls and boys, you need to know that. The moment a girl has come from the salon, you have to tell them, oh, you look very smart. They've made your hair very nice. But the moment a boy comes from shaving his hair, that is not the first thing they want. They want to hear like how they drove their bike back. You know, the journey, how was it? Hey, venye walikuwa wanakuja wakakutana na makanga. Wije makanga kasema hivi akawaambia hivi. You know, they want to talk about the experience. What have they done? They helped somebody. They maybe they drove the bike all the way home. What have they done? So they want boost their ego by praising what they do first, and then you can praise how they look. Okay. Then, before I go into that very big topic, the next topic I want to talk about is peer pressure. That is a very, very something that we as parents we really need to be wary of. Marvin, karibu sana. This Minadel, yes, atakuwa daktari yo. Then Mike Mikol, karibu Karokeo, karibu Bruce Oyamo. Karibu sana Flozi, ni uko ndani mama 3 boys taking notes. Wewe ni mama vijana, hata mimi niko na 2 girls, nitachukua wawili. Hello, this is now a parent talking about making choices for their children. Lakini when that time comes, hatutaweza. Masi Ogwayo. Dongo yule wa kupotea sewa. I like your topic. Karibu sana. Duncan, comrade, tell parents to bring the boys to Acacia Premier. I train them. Yeah, hakuna shida. Next time when we are talking, we will bring you on board to be able to tell them that direct. Otunga Sal. At least someone is talking about Bechel watching from Abu Dhabi. Oh, tuko mpaka Asia bana. Zippy Okoth, karibu sana. Sharon Adunda, karibu. Ausano Zaida, karibu. Adonija Achopo, Koso Oka Chopo Ichopo. Kenneth Ondiko, karibu sana. Another thing about boys is peer pressure. And as parents, we really need to be wary about peer pressure. This is not about people being at the adolescent stage. Even as young as 6 years, 5 years, the boys start experiencing peer pressure. And you'll find boys playing outside. And then suddenly, they want to wonder who is able to run fastest. Who is able to what? They are in a tug of war. Who will make the other one fall down? And by the way, it is not violence. It is just about feeling that they're the most powerful. Sometimes, if you are taking care of them, and you realize these boys are fighting, then it is your role to be able to separate them before they hurt each other. However, sometimes it's all just about expressing their power and being able to feel that authority. So when you see the boys having a tug of war, don't separate them immediately. Allow them to play kidogo. If they want to run. And that is why you realize that when you buy for boys these toys, even like these trucks, the first thing they will do is to dismantle it. Why? They want to see how can they be able to make it again. They are trying to challenge themselves. It's not like they are careless. No, that is just them being boys, being curious, wanting to know what more is in here. I remember when we were kids, our brothers always wanted to know who is this person talking inside the TV. As girls, we wanted to know the person talking inside the TV, but we could just get surprised and imagine from outside here. Our brothers wanted to check who is speaking inside the radio, and they could dismantle all the those small radios. And for a long time, it didn't really go well. But I remember after my brother went to high school, at Form 2, he repaired my father's Sun. You know Sun? Those ones that had very, very big discs. We used to call them Sun. And that radio had been taken even to Kisumu to be repaired, and nilishinda kila mtu. But my brother in Form 2, out of curiosity, the things that learned in school, he dismantled these things and he made it play again. And that is just them being boys. So If he had not had that freedom of dismantling these toys when he was a child growing up, he couldn't have had the courage to be able to dismantle this spoiled radio and to be able to make it again. So allow your boys to do things out of their own way, to experiment, to take risks. However, as they grow older, you need to be very wary about peer pressure, because peer pressure, if you're not careful, your child can be able to enter into drugs, can be able to enter into illicit sex. I don't know whether there's sex that's not illicit at that age anyway, but they can be able to enter into drugs. They can be able to be pressured into having sex, into getting into speedy cars, wealth, and this goes on up to the time they are adults, they're youth and all. They say Subaru drivers that the ones who are undergoing the highest peer pressure. Wanataka gari zenye zinakimbia haraka. Those are Subaru drivers. So, but anyway, that is just a myth anyway. But generally, boys undergo a lot of peer pressure, and this peer pressure, especially in the world today, you can find your child is exposed to drugs as early as 10 years old if you're not very keen. So it is very important for you to be very keen on your child's behavior. Take your time to sorora that room of theirs, turn that room upside down and arrange it again. One day when they're out playing or they've gone for a snack or to be with their friends, turn that room. And I will always repeat this: your house is your house. No room should have a door, a key to lock it. People can lock it, but they should not shut it up. So when it comes to peer pressure, and make the children understand that people are different, people are unique, and they're special in their own way. There are things that they are good in that the others are not so good in, and there are also things that they may be weak in that others are also what? Better in. So it is important for them to understand that, and let them understand that drugs are there, these things exist, alcohol is there, cigarettes, these things that they can easily get exposed to even as early as 10 years old. But let them know what are the dangers. And sometimes you're protecting your child so much, and because you go to work very early and come back very late, your child can be interacting with a neighbor. So you believe, oh, your child is at home, they're always nice, they're just playing around the neighborhood, but your next door neighbor ni mtu wa bangi. Do you know what your neighbor is doing? And that is community policing. You better be worried about what your neighbor is doing. Know whether it is safe for your child to be able to visit your neighbors, or your neighbor is a drug lord. What is your neighbor taking? Are they taking whiskey throughout the day, so that when your son enters their house, the first thing is to take a tot of whiskey? What are they exposing your child to? So as a parent, you need to be very exposed, you need to be very informed, and you need to be keen. Open your eyes. Don't be too blind to what is going on in your house. It's your house. But as a parent, if you are coming home late, kila siku ni midnight, every Friday you are too hungover on Saturday morning, so that the earliest you wake up is 11 a.m. because you are drunk the previous day, your son is watching. And the next thing, that is peer pressure. They know that is the way men behave, and that's the way men, like Friday night is boys' night, it's daddy's, it's the boys' days out, it's men night out, And they grow up knowing that what's happening. That is how men grow up. Men should drink until late on Friday or until Saturday, and men don't have to wake up to go to church. And so how are you making your child understand what a man is about? So there's the peer pressure from the youth. There's the peer pressure from what? From their friends and the neighbors and the kids. But are you enhancing this peer pressure so that when their friends tell them that men take drugs, they come and see that he also takes what? Drugs excessively. What are you showing them? So what exactly do you want your child to see? So especially now, this one to mothers, we really like advising. I'd like to request mothers, when it comes to boys, listen more and give opinionated advice less. What you need to do with the boys is give them stories, okay? Give them more examples. Tell them a story that they can be able to learn from. Before I go into the next point, karibuni sana. Akodhenya Argijowoi, karibu sana. We are here, Nyasema, yes, Karo, you're here. This is Minadel, karibu sana. Otunge Sal, karibu. Alfi, karibu sana. Lensa Rain, karibu. Kenneth Niko, karibu. Julius Kiptok, ukiwa Garissa, karibu sana. Great topic indeed, karibu. Mwanasema Garissa ni Kenya ama si Kenya? Huko ni kwa boda. Tafadhali nilete nyama ya ngamia. Christabel Sanya, karibu. Alfie Alfredo, kindly, do you have a YouTube channel where people can subscribe and follow these and many more topics discussed previously? Yes, Alfie Alfredo, I post these ones on my YouTube channel. Kindly like my YouTube channel, Zippy Okoth. I'm still learning on the YouTube channel also anyway. So yes, you can like these videos on my page. So just look for Zippy Okoth and you'll see these videos. It's Zippy Facebook Live. Yeah, so karibu sana. Festus Mateso karibu, Amoni Ochieng karibu, Solomon Asembo karibu, Shibutse Violet, Matri Nyanga, Tony Kalono, Kanono Jeresha, Angie Mbei karibu sana. Nadeja Beradhi Maber, Nade Nikukondani James karibu sana, Makadem karibu sana. Now hormones. When it comes to hormones, boys, it's different. Because when the hormones start coming up, they easily get angry. It's not that they're angry. It's because they just don't understand why you do not understand this drive that they have, this motivation that they have, this energy that they have. You know, the way like they say when they reach that starting adolescent stage, they eat more. It means they have more energy. And when they have more energy, it means they want to do more risky things. They feel that they can control the world, that they can change the universe. You know, the way they watch, I've not watched these sci-fi things like the Avengers, but I believe that is what men feel like. They can be like Spider-Man, the Avengers and all that kind of stuff. And so as a parent, you really need to understand that this stage of their life, the hormones are all over. When they wake up and they have wet dreams, how do you handle wet dreams? As a mother, give them their space. You know, give them their give them their privacy, because you don't want to go every day. You want to open the sheets to check, oh, did they have a wet dream or not? Give them their privacy. Let them learn how to clean the spaces, how to feel like a man. If having the wet dreams is being a man, let them meet an uncle or their father or somebody you can be able to instill this in them so that they can understand that it is normal. Because some of the young men, they really get scared when they start having these wet dreams. They wake up in the morning and they find they have an erection. They wake up and they feel like maybe, oh, they have wet their sheets, and they really don't know how to handle this. So how are you supposed to make them understand this? When you realize that your son has already started getting into the stage of adolescence, get them an uncle, or if you are the father and you're too scared to speak about this, let that brother of yours or cousin of yours talk to this boy. And even you as a father, be free to talk to this boy and tell them what wet dreams are about. The same way mothers are talking about menstruation, talk to these boys about wet dreams. Talk to them about all these feelings, and give them that. Don't be knocking the door every morning unawashtua na saa hizo unapata vitu zimesimama. You need to be able to understand that this is a stage they're going through, and they're also struggling to understand themselves. So give them that opportunity to understand that. And when these hormones start, they want recognition. When the boys start going through these hormones, change of voice, they don't know what is happening to their voice, need to understand that this is the time. They do not want to be pampered. They want to be recognized. They do not want to be, for lack of a better word, to be chongwad. You know, mchongwa knows that, oh, sauti yake nini, to be made fun of. They want you to just acknowledge that that's part of being a man, that it is not about their physique, it is not about how they look, it is not about the changes that they're going through. It's about what can they do. Give them chores that challenges them, chores that make them feel like they are already grown up. And what kind of chores are these? Stories are kubeba vitu. You know, when you're coming from the market, let them carry the heavy stuff. And you know, it feels like they have power, because somebody might look at them and say, oh, unamcheza kijana, but the feeling that they get once they reach at home, they feel accomplished, that they have done something important as a man. So look at the end product. What are they feeling like? Give them chores, like if you're living in a compound, let them till the flowers, let them go to the garden, let them keep the compound clean, they slash here and there. Let them start repairing things. It might not be perfect, but when they repair something, appreciate them, recognize that. You know, a table might have been broken, but if they can make an attempt to make that table to be able to stand on its 4 feet, applaud them for that. Don't start looking at like, oh, imesimama combo. That is negative criticism on your children. Applaud them on that. You can help them draw kuja tuendelee kutengeneza sawa kesho tafadhali straighten his side vizuri. Recognize what they do, encourage them, motivate them, because at that point, if you do not encourage this young man at that point, the hormones are top gear. The next thing they'll do, they'll get angry, they'll throw tantrums, and you will not know what you're dealing with. So whatever they want to do, appreciate them, give them more things to put that energy into, so that that energy cannot go into just fighting boys in the compound. So they can be able to help at home and also be able to challenge themselves with the what? With their other neighbors and their friends, so that when they're having the tug of war, competing in riding bikes, doing football, at least it is energy put into good use. So when they start having all these kind of hormones, get them into sports, get them into clubs, get them into places that can be able to what? To consume all this energy, so that they are not idle. The moment your son gets into adolescence, just remember there is no room for being idle. They are eating more, they are having excess energy, so they need to use that energy. If they don't use that energy, it will be used negatively. And it is your role as a parent to help them channel this energy to the right place. Then relationships. Hapa ndio shida ingine iko. In relationships, we need fathers to be able to do what? To be able to mentor their children. When it comes to relationship for men, at a very young age, one thing that influences their relationship is peer pressure. So as a father, as a mother, you need to be able to understand what relationships are and what are your child is going through at that stage. Even when they are 12 years old and they tell you that they have a girlfriend, be able to accept this and tell them, what do you do with your girlfriend? Bring them and meet them. When you make it free for them to be able to be in the space that you are in, let me tell you, they will not feel the need to hide. Because the moment they hide is when they start getting involved in what? In sexual intercourse very early. So make it very free for them to bring that girlfriend home. They can cook together, they can watch TV together, and you're monitoring them, isn't it? So make it very free for them to have what? A girlfriend in your presence. Because what is happening right now at that stage of relationship is the peer pressure. They don't want a girlfriend because they feel like they need a girlfriend. They are having a girlfriend because everybody else has a what? Has a girlfriend. And then now as they grow older, when they reach 18, now they start having a girlfriend because they start feeling very highly, or actually at the age of 16, they start feeling highly sexually attracted to females. And as a parent, you really need to motivate them and tell them that it is a normal feeling, and be able to guide them on how to have a healthy relationship with females. Tell them it is okay to go out on a date with with a girl, but be in a public place because anything happens. Tell them that it is possible for them to make a girl pregnant, and if they make a girl pregnant, they will get a baby. And when they get a baby, it means they'll have to take care of that baby. So start instilling this issue of discipline in our sons early enough, so that in case they make a girl pregnant, they do not say it wasn't me. When a man makes a girl pregnant and says it wasn't me, I tell you that is the parent's problem. You're the one who made this child be too scared of having a healthy relationship. They're too scared of even, they are saying so because they are scared of what the parents will say, what their friends will say. So when they have a healthy relationship, they will know that they can make girls pregnant, and they will avoid anything that will make turn them into a father that early, because they will be able to accept a girl's situation. And when they have sex, they'll be able to protect themselves. They'll use condoms, or they'll be able to talk to the girl in due course about safe days or something like that. So even as they grow older, 20, 22, 23, 25, they will be able to know that children come with responsibility, not just going and throwing seeds because I'm a man. Or like they tell us a lot of times that we are men, by the time they are 30, they have some seed somewhere and they do not know. So my dear, that is a myth. Yeah, it's a masculinity myth among the lawyers. But the thing is this, at this time and age, as a father, if your child makes somebody pregnant and you do not know, it is wrong. And the problem starts with you as a father, starts with what? You as a mother, starts with you as an uncle. Why didn't you make this boy understand that he can make a girl pregnant at that particular stage of his life? And so that's to be able to know that sex can be protected and they can use condoms. So anyway, that is hormones, and that is relationships, and that is peer pressure all in one. Then another thing that boys need and men need is freedom. Hey, wanapenda freedom, hapa. Men love freedom. They don't want to be told what to do, how to play, what to eat. They want to wake up in the morning, bathe when they like, and do the things that they want to do. So as a parent, it is very important for you to allow the boys to have their freedom. Remember you are a parent, you have the overall authority. But even as much as you have the overall authority, the boy needs to have their freedom. Start with small freedoms like knowing what time to play. If they want to do the assignment and play, or they want to do what? To play, then they do assignment. What matters is, as a parent, you know that by 5:30 p.m. assignment should have been done and people should have played. So they need to learn how do they make the choice and how do they balance. So put your rules as a parent, but give the young man some freedom to know what to do. On weekends, if you're having a boy who's already like 18 years, 16 years and above, weekends perhaps in the afternoon they'd like to go watch. They'd like to go somewhere, play with their friends and stuff like that. As a parent, do not constrict these boys so much that they have to be at home. That as when my mom and dad are at home, I can't leave the house. No. Allow them that freedom to know that yes, when mom and dad are at home, I can leave the house, but I should be on call. In case of anything, I should be able to come by and help. But they need to have that freedom to be able to know how to plan their schedules, how to plan their time, freedom of choosing their friends. Because as a parent, you should have guided them on what good friends are and on what bad friends are. You should have guided them on what drugs are, on what sex is, and on what the world is. And even when it comes to things like budgeting, you will have advised them on that. So allow them to have their freedom. Recently, a friend told me, this is a mother. I told you I talked to a lot of people. So when it comes to freedom, their son was turning 14 years. So they asked the son, so where do you want us to have the party? Guess what the boy said? He said he does not want a party. For his birthday, he wants to be given 5,000 shillings, and then he wants to have freedom to do whatever he wants at his will, and nobody should tell him what to do, even waking up. And so, the mother was like, but how? As in his birthday, people want to have a party as usual, but the boy said no, he wants his time. So this is what she told me the boy did. According to her, she gave the boy 5,000. The boy is 14 years old, because it had saved her a lot of expenses. The party could have costed more. So the boy woke up at what time? At 11. Went to the kitchen, made himself a sandwich, akarudi kulala. Akaenda kwa room yake, akalala, akaamka lunch, akakula. In the afternoon, the boy decided he's playing games. He played games until 6 p.m. The mother was started getting worried. This boy is not showering today. And the way mothers, we can be like, please shower. She remembered it was a promise. Today is his day to do anything he wants. The boy played games. He watched TV until 3 a.m. And the boy went and showered and slept. The following day, he said it was his birthday. He had the best birthday of his life. That's one boy's decision. And that is freedom. As much as it might be hard for you as a parent, it is freedom. You get it? And then power. Boys want power. Men want power. To be the most powerful. Every man wants to be the most powerful what? Person. So as a parent, you need to develop their positive ego, to be content and to be able to maximize what? To maximize their potential. Boy want power. That's why when we are talking about taking risks, like them playing those violent games, it is not about them being violent. It's about them wanting power, them wanting to be recognized, them wanting to be seen. Sometimes when we are having bully issues, it is said that it is not about the person they're bullying. It is about the bully. They are not having the power. They are not being recognized enough. So if your child is sent home that they are bullying the others, it means you need to start recognizing them. Give them challenges that make them feel that they have that power. Because it is that power that they seek, and that's why they're bullying others. So as a parent, what can you do to help develop your son's sense of his self-esteem, sense of a positive ego, and freedom and actualization? You need to recognize them. Give them challenges, and when they accomplish them, you should be able to do what? To motivate them. Make them believe that you trust them, that you can leave things in their hands and trust that they will do it. And that is what the boys do. When they are having an argument, don't come in. Let them argue, and whether it is right or wrong, an argument between teenagers or between peers, there's never a right or wrong answer. So let them be able to take that moment to be able to convince the others. Because when they can be able to convince the others, then it makes them feel like, they listened to me today. And that to them is power. So how are they able to do that? And sometimes even as a parent, how are you able to give your children power or freedom? Sometimes, especially when a child is already 16 years and above, give them money and tell them to go shopping. See how they budget. Tell them I need this and this and this and this and this and this and this. and let them come home with all that. That one is giving them what? A sense of what? Power, a sense of freedom. They're able to make choices. They're able to do what? To know that this is going to be happening. When we were young, our parents, like my mom, used to send us to go and take pocket money from my dad's office. And not really pocket money, but money to spend over the week for the house money. So we could go, and then my mom could tell us, okay, just go to the market and buy things. That time I was 16, I was in Form 4. And after Form 4, so I could go to the supermarket and I could pick, I know, by that time I knew I need to buy 2 kgs of rice, I need to buy, at home we don't buy maize flour, here tunasiaga. I buy milk, I buy yogurt, I buy tea leaves, I buy soap, at that time. And then when I come home, my mother will be like, you bought soap again and we still have soap, okay, you bought sugar and you forgot this. And the next time now I go and I remember I have to buy sugar, I have to buy this. So when it is the boys, I realize that she does not shout that much to the boys. She's like, at least alikumbuka kuleta sukari, weka hizo hapo. It was different. For the boys, she used to believe that boosting their ego was more important than making noise to them. To us, this is something we should have known, but to the boys, it was all about appreciating that at least they managed to bring this. Karibuni sana, karibuni sana. Millie Odhiambo, karibu sana. Stephen Onjore, uko ndani. Kanuna, I'm here to stay, learning a lot. Thank you so much. Faith Mutheo, karibu Akodhenya, Aragijo Woi, karibu sana. Ross Nyaundi, military, DDUK, Jakara Chonyo Milton, karibu sana. Salome, you're learning a lot. Didi, Woda Goyo Dasta, Otedo Luoko. Very important. You have to let your children take control. Let them do everything that they need to do, because nowadays, by the time they go to campus, they'll be living alone. They leave campus, they start moving out. And how will they learn to cook? When watakula kwa vibanda kila siku there, if they kula kwa vibanda, it means they don't know how to budget. So it's very important for our boys to know how to cook, how to clean, and how to take care of themselves. Because even the women they date want clean men. So nurture these boys to become the ideal men. Indiego Eriki, karibu sana. Daisy Maton, karibu. Milde Datino, karibu. Military, karibu. Jambo, karibu. Mark Prince Otani, Yvonne, karibu sana. Jambo is a father of men. Hao wameshakuwa wanaume. Hao sio vijana tena, si ndio? Yvonne, karibu. Stephen Runo, Dennis lecture. Please don't stop teaching us. I will try my best, Dennis Ogola. Rokobado, karibu. Emmanuel Aboa, karibu. Flozi, love this topic I'm learning. Karibu. Agustin Botere, karibu. Bruce Odhiambo, you're very right, and I agree with you. Though back in time, I understand that it was not acceptable for parents to talk about sexual transformation with their children. Very good topic. Yeah, back in the days, it was not like okay, but parents used to delegate that to aunties. So it means, as a parent, you are bringing up somebody else's child, and the other person was bringing up your child, because aunties and uncles were the ones talking to children. So that way, people were exchanging roles. But now the problem is nowadays, his parents are doing everything. There's no room for aunties or uncles. But if you come from a very good family setup, you can be able to help your brothers and sisters handle this. If your child is going through something and you feel that you don't have the courage to talk about them, engage your brother, engage your cousin, and make work easier. Parenting is a communal thing. Peter Ekisa, karibu. I am Kenya. Mark Kaikai, karibu. Oma Der, Kangede Mungai, Wamiri, karibu sana. Thomas Rombo, karibu. Salishona, I'm now here to stay. Karibu Wanjinski. So we will later na Salishen. Steve Kwedongo nakuona tu. My dear mom, Salome, feel tagged for your son Everett. Nancy Kemuto, very educative, following for my 4-year-old son. Yeah, your 4-year-old son will one day be a man. And finally, my final point is masculinity myth. There's this masculinity myth about men have to be in control. Men cannot cook, as if men cannot eat. As in, every society and every culture, and you can go down to every tribe and every village, has got their own myth about what masculinity is about, what men must not do, so that if a man does something, it's a taboo. Let me say, traditionally among the Luo, if a man goes into the kitchen, it's a taboo. In fact, they say he can even become impotent by cooking. But then you realize these things are not true. My brothers cook, they used to cook. As you grow up, you realize that men can cook, and they are not impotent. In fact, they give birth to many children. So these are myths. So these are masculinity myths. Other myths that men have to be like in control, be control of women. Those are also myths. Men need to learn how to have control, not to be in control. You need to be in power, in authority, but not to control the others. You need to be able to do what? To understand that others have a voice. Other myths that we also have in our society are like men must beat women. Those are myths. If you love a woman, you should not beat them. Another one is, oh, men must cheat. Men are polygamous by nature. We have faithful men in this world. Because, men are polygamous by nature. Even women were polygamous by nature. It was a polygamous society. However, you choose what kind of life you want to live. We are in the era of HIV, STDs, and STIs. So I do not know what you really want to have. Even if you're a polygamous man, by the time you're in your 70s or 60s and you're marrying a girl who is 25, they say when an old man marries a young girl, it's like a what? It's like a man who is planting maize along the roadside. So what are you doing? That is polygamy, and you're going to get infected. Why do you want to get infected in your old age? So these are things that we need to discuss. So these are the masculinity myths that we need to get rid of. Let us bring up our boys to be all-rounded, to be self-reliant, to be self-independent. Because the woman of today is very powerful. The woman of today is very ambitious. And the woman of today is very authoritative and knows her space. So what about our boys? Are we bringing up boys who knows their power, who have self-awareness of their role in the society, who have got self-control about their emotions, about their needs, and men who have got freedom to be able to express themselves? What kind of boys are we bringing up? So we need to really understand that the world has changed, and we need to have boys who are well and all-rounded. Give them a sense of authority, give them motivation to be more, empower their ego, boost their ego every day, make them understand what a man is. If it is about being smart physically, fine. If it is about being smart mentally, motivate them. The things they do, whether it is in the house, helping you around, helping a needy person, motivate them to be that. And finally, I'd like us as parents to really be able to motivate our young men to be more giving in terms of community-wise. We realize that a lot of times it's women who give more, who share more, who help the needy, who help orphans, who help widows. Let us encourage our young men to be able to give more to the society. We are not talking about giving money, we're talking about giving time to listen, to visit the old, to visit the poor, to talk to these people, because in that way it is going to encourage in them a spirit of a family, if they want to be family people, a spirit of understanding, a spirit of patience. Because when, as a man, you really need to be patient with women, and that's a very good attribute, a very good value. So these are things that you can help them nurture early enough by exposing them to mentors, exposing them to things happening in their surrounding, and be free to talk to our young men about sex, about politics, about sports, about society roles, and about where the world is going. Right now we're talking about artificial intelligence. Let's talk to a young man. You never know whether the young man you're raising is going to be the greatest scientist, the greatest innovator, or the greatest artist, whatever he wants to be right now. Encourage him. Don't suppress his needs, don't suppress his talents. Encourage the young man, motivate them, and make them feel that they are a man, because it starts with a self-awareness. Knowing they are a man is what motivates them to be more. And that will be it. Today I was trying to pick a 1:15 on time. So yeah, that's it. So before I say bye, Thomas Rombo, karibu. Omer Deno, this I am Kenya, karibu. Karibu ni sana. Steve Kodonko, karibu. Rachel Dinda, karibu. Ketra, okay, karibu. I'm learning and following for my son Ongeyo Goyo Dasta Luoko and Fundot. Yes, it's very important. Yeah, he's saying the son knows how to clean their house and to make the house clean. Yeah. Karibu ni sana. So before I conclude, I'd like to remind you once more that on 5th of June, I'll be launching my book, Oops, Zippy, at the Kenya National Theatre. So I'd like you to RSVP on Eventbrite. Go to Eventbrite and then just type Oops, Zippy, book launch, and then it will come there. Then book your slot. Come and you share. We're going to have great panelists on that day. We're going to discuss a lot of things on human rights, on mental health, and even on depression. And so we are going to have all these beautiful panelists bringing all these topics on course. It's not just about the book, it's about the things that people are going through, and that is what Oops Zippy is about. Oops Zippy is about telling it and being able to share it about my life, but also about what people are going through. People are going through depression. This book talks about depression. People are going through stigma. This book is going to talk about stigma. That's why in the panel we are not just having, it's not just a grammar kind of a discussion. It's a discussion about real issues happening in society. So we're going to have a really great people. I'll tell you about them next week, but we'll have somebody to talk about mental health, somebody to talk about depression, somebody to talk about human rights, somebody to talk about domestic violence, and it's going to be a lovely affair. So also get your copy. The copy is only 800 Kenyan shillings. You can get it by sending 800 shillings to M-Pesa by good still number 510255. You can also go to nuria.co.ke and get a copy on that website, nuria.co.ke. And what else? That's it. We will be posting these videos on YouTube. So also go to my YouTube page and like it. I'll post a link to my YouTube page above this link from today and even the other links. So go to my YouTube page and like it so that hopefully we can be able to share this with more people. Otherwise, thank you for listening and thanks for staying tuned in. Next week, we are going to discuss blended families. Nowadays, a lot of people are living together. Like, I mean, a woman comes with children or a man comes with children or both of them come with children and they're living happily ever after. So we are going to discuss parenting in blended families. So stay tuned because you definitely know somebody who is in a blended family. I am in a blended family. Yes, having been divorced and right now in another relationship with my children. That's now a blended family. So we are going to be discuss how to be able to balance all this because sometimes loving children is not as easy and children loving us is not as easy. But we will discuss how to go about this. So stay tuned and cheers. Cheers. Whichever way, I hope you had fun and I hope you learned a lot. Let me just see if there's anyone else. Eunice, that was powerful. Thanks, Sarah Eve. That was so insightful. Thanks. Helm Spelling, Karibu Joseph Odor. Thank you so much for watching. You're going to get this on my page and even on my page, Dr. Zippy Okoth. But stay tuned and enjoy yourself. Have a blessed week and see you soon.